Hi everybody, welcome to Isralight in the Old City. Wish you guys were all here. I'm sitting here in our Beit Midrash building, the Beit Midrash of Isralight in Yeshivat Oraita in the Old City. This building is an amazing building. It's actually built on the foundation of a 900-year-old German Crusader fortress. If you think about this, it's amazing. 900 years ago, German Crusaders from Frankfurt al-Aman came to Jerusalem to conquer the city. And now, in today's day and age, in modern day Jerusalem, people come from all over the world to learn Torah in this very room, in this very building, just yards from the Temple Mount. And to me, that basically sums up Jewish history in a nutshell. That strange tension we feel of reflecting on the dark moments of our past and embracing and celebrating simultaneously the joy of our present and the promise of our future. And perhaps at no other time in the Jewish calendar year is that tension more imminently felt than during this week we're in right now. Just a few days ago, Jews all over the world sat on low chairs in dim lights and recalled the Book of Lamentations, recalling the destruction of the ancient city of Jerusalem and our holy temples. And now, just a few days later, we're preparing for Shabbat Nachamu, the Shabbat of consolation and comfort. This Shabbat is traditionally one of the most joyous, if not the most joyous Shabbat in the entire Jewish calendar year. And it's that Shabbat of consolation that I just want to share a quick word with you about today. The Shabbat Nachamu, Shabbat of consolation and comfort, gets its name from the prophetic reading that we read the Shabbat, the Haftarah we read the Shabbat from the book of Isaiah. Isaiah tells us, Nachamu, Nachamu, Ami, Yomar Elokechem. Comfort me, comfort my people, says God. Why does the prophet Isaiah, in describing the comfort that Hashem wants to bestow upon the Jewish people, say, Nachamu, Nachamu, Ami? Why not just say, Nachamu, Ami, comfort my people? Why comfort my people? Why twice the word Nachamu? The Navi continues that the city of Jerusalem has survived its battles and its war, and it was struck twice. It was struck twice by the hand of God for each of its sins, for all of its sins. Now this is a very difficult idea. What does it mean that the Jewish people in the city of Jerusalem were struck twice for its sins? Could this be possibly a reference to the fact that both temples were destroyed? Might this be a reference that the Jewish people somehow are dually responsible, or being held to a higher standard, if you will? And it's this idea that the Slonim Rabbi, the Netivot Shalom, really begins to address. He asks our very question: why the double language of Nachamu, Nachamu, and why does it say Kilacham Yad Hashem Kiflaim B'chol Chatotah? That the Jewish people were struck twice with a dual striking, if you will, for each of their sins. And so he says something very powerful and very beautiful. The Slonim Rebbe addresses this question by way of a mashal, by way of a parable. He says the Jewish people could be likened to a Ben HaMelech, to the prince, to the son of the king. The Jewish people, collectively, we are B'nai HaMelech. We are B'nai HaMelech, children of God, if you will, children of the ultimate king. And a child of the ultimate king, a child of a king, a child of royalty, experiences a mistake, a misdeed, if you will. Not only does that mistake or misdeed have an implication for himself, like any normal human being, but ultimately when the mistakes and misdeeds of someone who's a member of the quote, royal family become known to the world, that has an implication not only for the individual, but ultimately collectively for that collective royal family. I just returned from a trip to the States, a whirlwind trip in the States, and I spent a little bit of time in and out of different supermarkets, and it's inevitable when you walk in a supermarket, even in America, let alone I'm sure it's the case even more so in the United Kingdom, but where you'll see on the shelves in the supermarket the tabloid magazines with all kinds of comments and stories about the latest goings on of the royal family, the British royal family, and not to say anything disparaging against the royal family, but the world seems to be watching in a different way, so to speak, the steps and missteps of the royal family. And that's what the Slonim Rebbe is saying. The Jewish people are supposed to be an or l'goyim, a light unto the nations. And therefore, when they experience a mistake, a misstep, a misdeed, that mistake has not only an implication for themselves, but it has a dual implication. It has an implication for themselves and for the entire world. But he says something beautiful. He says, the Navi also tells us, Nachamu, Nachamu, that the comfort, the reconciliation, so to speak, after this experience of mistakes and transgressions is going to be twice as good as well. And he continues with our same mashal, our same parable. He says, when someone who's a child is estranged or has distance between themselves and their parents, there's no greater experience, there's no greater joy, there's no greater comfort that child could experience than the reconciliation with their parents. To return to their parents' embrace, to return, if you will, to their proverbial family room, to join once again and be embraced by their parents and by their entire family. The experience of Shabbat Nachamu is such a powerful experience because this is the son of Rabbi, is what the Jewish people are experiencing collectively. After thousands, and certainly today, for those of us that are privileged to be able to sit in this very room, after thousands of years of dark and painful moments, after ups and downs of hills and valleys of Jewish history, if you will, to be able to return to the old city of Yerushalayim, to sit and learn Torah in this very room, to be able to return to our collective family room, if you will. What greater nechama, what greater comfort and consolation could we, as a Jewish people, be able to merit? So my bracha to all of us on this Erev Shabbat Nachamu is that we should be able to continue to learn Torah, not only in this very room, but in all corners of the world. But I hope to see you all here soon in our collective family room here in Yerushalayim, Yer HaKodesh. Warmest wishes for a Shabbat Shalom and a very, very powerful and meaningful Shabbat Nachamu. Shabbat Shalom.